with a quick update for you about how December has been going for how December went. So, this is my first live stream. I don't even know if it's recording right now. I'm going to assume that it is because it's saying it is. Um, okay, so December for me was crazy, and that is why there weren't a lot of Qkids tutoring videos uploaded for the teachers, and I didn't do an update. So, this hopefully is streaming okay, and my update is that PalFish. Now, this is the first live I've ever done for YouTube, and I made a checklist because I'll go on all night if I don't. So let's try not to make this too long. PalFish, I was doing a ton of work. Lives 3, 4, 5 times a week. Not 5 times, usually 4 times a week. I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I didn't do the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the lives were anywhere from 30 to 40, 30 to an hour. Okay, and I wasn't getting paid for that time, and I put a lot of effort into planning the lives and making sure that they were really good teaching. Like, they're fabulous. I need to redo them for YouTube. And my students actually started suggesting that I charge for them. And I knew that if I did that, I was going to lose my audience. And the whole idea of doing lives on PalFish is to market yourself. Now, I was marketing myself as much as I could, but I don't work for kids on PalFish. I am a teacher, an official kids course teacher, but I work for Qkids during peak hours, so I wasn't going to give up my Qkids hours to work for PalFish because I would have to work all of the peak hours and to make the same kind of money that I make for Qkids. And honestly, I probably could eventually do that, but I just love Qkids so much that I'm not really willing to go to another company for it, especially one that will take money away from you. And I talked about that last month's update. But if you miss a class, or if you cancel too close to the class time, or anything like this where they find you and they take from you and they don't book you and you lose points and things are affected for a long time. So I really have pulled back in January from PalFish. I'm not doing lives every day. I'm barely in the chat room. I'm just teaching the existing students. Now, the existing students, I've lost one. I had one that didn't repeat. I've had a few that have booked classes and probably aren't going to book again. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. I don't know. I wish they would, because then I could use PalFish the way I want to. Because I do like PalFish, the free talk, the aspect, the social aspect of it. But honestly, PalFish, it requires a lot of marketing. And in that marketing, it's a lot of free work. The teachers are doing free work because these lives are free. When I started charging 1 RMB, which is a few cents in American dollars, it's really not that much money. It's not even that much money for Chinese. My viewers went down from 20 to 40 viewers for a live to the maximum I ever had was 9. So as far as a marketing ploy, it failed. If I charge, I don't market. If I don't charge, I'm working for free. My moments also were free, and I was doing really great moments like pronunciation tips and grammar tips and things like this, and so that wasn't going great either. So PalFish last month, with all of the work that I put into it, I earned $200. No good. So, all right, so we're kind of crossing PalFish off the list. I'm just working with the existing students that I have. Great idea, really great idea. But again, unless you're working for those peak Beijing times, it's going to be really hard to get going. And I'm wondering how other free talk teachers that have been very successful have done it. So if you're a free talk teacher on PalFish and you have suggestions for me, please, I'm interested in hearing them. I've done everything that everyone has ever said. But I can't just wait around to see it bloom in the future, and I just don't think it works the same way that it's being marketed for those lives. Now let's move on to Cambly. Cambly, I have made over $1,000 working 2 months for Cambly. I've worked 2 months for Cambly, and I've made Let's see if it's open here. I will be able to tell you really quick how much. Let's see. Yes, here we go. So about $1,200 in 2 months. And I really pulled back from my Cambly experiences because I was working about 20 hours a week on Cambly, and that was an awful lot. I was working 20 hours, about 19 hours for Qkids, 20 hours for Cambly, so that's full time. And I was getting burnt out because it's very intense. Once you book peak hours, you can't leave. You can take a 5 minute break, I think, like once an hour. And that's like run to the bathroom and run back, right? And you really want those back-to-back calls, so even taking that 5 minutes, you end up affecting your pay. So if you're getting back-to-back calls on Cambly, you make 10, 20 an hour. If you don't get back-to-back calls, you won't make as much money. So at first, when I first started, for like the first 2 weeks, I was making like $7 to $8 an hour, but then like things exploded and my schedule was booked solid. I went all the way up to a 9.94, no, a 4.94. I haven't seen a tutor that high, and once I hit that rating, there was no wiggle room on that schedule. But the problem with that was that the students that I started with, who were very consistent and wanted to really learn, were not able to book their classes. They weren't getting in. And then students that I had never heard, like never met, never knew, which I'm not closed to having new students, but I don't like the idea that new students are taking time from the old students, and then some of them weren't showing up. And some of them, it was like a one-time thing. They just wanted to see what this, high ranking teacher was about, and that's it. So I said, okay, I can't work this much for Cambly just because they really aren't paying well enough for the amount of work that I do. I am a very engaging teacher. My students have told me that when they go to other teachers on Cambly, they are not getting corrections, they are not getting grammar, they are not getting actual lessons. They're just kicking back and having a conversation. And I get it. They're only paying 10, 20 an hour if you have back-to-back calls. So if you're sitting around waiting for a call, you aren't getting paid. And you are tied to your computer if you open priority hours. And getting going on Cambly can be really hard if you don't open a lot of priority hours. So I get it. I understand that, maybe the teachers aren't putting in as much effort as they could be. But they are charging a lot. Cambly requires, it's probably a close to $20 an hour from their students, and they require a year's commitment, so you have to have a year's contract with them. And so that's a big lump sum that those students are paying, and then they have a whole year that they can use on Cambly of all this time that they've bought. So that's how Cambly works, and I really love the idea of Cambly. It's kind of because I can do my own thing, and I'm fine with that. I use my Google Drive, and I have lots of material in there, and I can teach till the cows come home. I'm just disappointed with the fact that the pay is so low. Now, when you compare it to what I was doing with PalFish, I worked on PalFish from the middle of October, November, December, and I made I think maybe, I don't even think I paid off the iPad I bought for it, which was about a little over $400. So, and Cambly, I've already made $1,200. So that's 3 times the amount in 2 months. So that's something to consider. It's very consistent. If you are a good teacher, a good tutor, it will be a very consistent source of income for you. They pay every Monday like clockwork. You get that deposit in PayPal, and then you go from there. So I was bringing in anywhere from $100 to $200 a week working on Cambly. I've since cut back. And I don't even open my schedule. I don't open my schedule because as soon as I open it, it's booked. And I want the students that I saw being the most dedicated, putting the most effort into learning, and showing up consistently. I chose a handful of those students. And it's not to say that all of the ones that I didn't choose weren't, but this, I only have so much time that I was going to give Cambly. So I chose those students and I send them invitations for classes. And this has been the last 2 weeks and it's working out pretty well. And I also have the flexibility with Cambly to cancel the classes if I want to sub for the local school. Now, I only get $10 an hour to sub for the local school, but it's nice to mix things up a little bit. And I know that if I work a whole day at the school, I'm going to get my whopping $75. And if I work for Cambly, unless I work all day long, I'm going to make $20. So it depends on what I want to do for the day. Now I don't usually cancel a lot for the day because I want to be an ESL teacher. That's what I want to do. So of course my cancellations for subbing are few and far between because who doesn't want to stay home and work instead of going out? But it's nice to have a little mix up every once in a while. So I did that yesterday. So Cambly, it's good. It's good. If you want something very consistent, you can work for Cambly. And especially if you just teach them a little bit, teach them some pronunciation, make sure you correct them, give them a speaking task, show them a picture and ask them to talk about the picture and then suggest things that they can do better. But that's a different live that I can mentor teach another time. So that's Cambly. Okay, want to keep going because I know people don't watch for a long time. iTutor, my next thing on the list is iTutor. So I'm still searching for something to supplement Qkids. If Qkids would be a 24, if I could work for Qkids full time, I would work for them full time. I just really love Qkids. I shout to the hilltops about how much I love Qkids. My contract just got renewed for another 6 months, so I'm really excited about that. And Qkids, just the setup that they have is amazing. I go in, I teach my 4 kids. I teach those 4 lessons in the morning, and then in Friday and Saturday nights I teach 5 lessons, and it's great. The human resource working with CCT, the class coordination team, they're always so very good. My coach is amazing, and just the community is mostly amazing. So I couldn't ask for anything better with Qkids except for some more hours. I just want to supplement that, like 2 more hours a day, Monday through Friday. Not even Saturday, Sunday, just Monday through Friday. 2 more hours. And that's what I'm searching for right now. And I do have to say that I do want to talk about something that's been being brought up lately on social media, and that is people say that you can make up to $20 an hour on Qkids, and some people are saying that that's a lie because there's 10-minute breaks in between classes, and the classes go for 28 to 30 minutes, and there's a 10-minute break in between the classes, and you don't get paid for that 10-minute break, and they require you to come back 3 to 5 minutes early from that break. And my thing about that is if you were to incorporate going to your job, the amount of time to commute to your job, the stress of being in traffic if you have to do that, the amount of money that you spend on gas, the wear and tear on your car, the times that you stop for coffee, the lunch that you have to buy out, the lesson planning that you have to do, the extra time that you might have to spend in the morning getting there because you don't, as a teacher, and this is true for any job, but if you're talking about brick and mortar teacher, they're not getting there right when school starts at 8:30 there or whatever time. They're getting there early so that they can prepare their day, and they're often there late. Parent-teacher communication, meetings, trainings, and all of these things. Sometimes they don't get paid for it. They don't get paid to commute to a training, right? Okay, so daycare for kids that they instead of being able to work at home and work around a kid schedule or set up a schedule that the kids are on so that you're working and they're quiet, instead you have to pay for daycare. So for me, Qkids has a ton of perks, and that 20 minutes, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. That's my commute. That's my commute back and forth to work, and I'm not even going to count it, okay? So that's how I feel about that. And honestly, there's not a ton of jobs that you can stay home and work $20 an hour consistently and not be bothered and not have to plan anything and really not have to do anything. If there are, please leave them in the comments because I'm still looking for a little something extra here, okay? So that brought me to iTutor. iTutor recruiters I have to say, okay, let me tell you the positive things about iTutor before I go crazy, okay? The hiring process was very easy. I was accepted pretty quickly, and it's all a pretty easy process. So if you already have online teaching experience, it's easy. You can use the platform, no problem. The curriculum won't be a problem for you. The curriculum is actually just reading and discussing, and you have to get a little bit creative to get to get things flowing in the class, or it's going to be a very boring reading session, and then you'll get low points for that. But we'll talk about ratings and points in just a moment. So as far as that, it's stress free in that aspect. Like, you teach, nobody's really bothered me while I was teaching. The students have been great so far. I haven't had really any issues. There was one time I allowed the students to use their pens, and like they were scribbling all over the thing, but whatever, that's not even like an issue. So I do like the classes that I've been having with iTutor. The problem with iTutor is they're not giving me enough classes. I have my hours open. I've had to take hours from Qkids. I had to drop the Saturday and Sunday last class in order to meet the 5-hour requirement that iTutor asks for, and I'm also working until 12:30 on Friday night, and I'm working until 11:30 on Saturday night to meet the 5-hour requirement for peak hours for iTutor, and that's okay if they give me the classes. They're not giving me the classes. And I understand that it is slow time right now because it's holidays, it's exams, it's this, it's that, it's the other thing. I get it. But that's not the only thing that's going on here. When the recruiters recruit you for iTutor, they tell you it's okay. They're very flexible. You can cancel if you need to. You can do this and that and the other thing. They're not being 100% honest, okay? If you cancel at any time, your peak hours or within 24 hours of your other sessions, whether there's students in the class or not, you lose your bonus you lose your bonus, attendance bonus, and you also get like underground punish. They don't come right out and tell you about this, but there are so many people that have said if you cancel, you don't get bookings, and I've had to cancel a couple of times. Now, the things that I canceled, the classes that I canceled, were empty. There were just slots that I had open on my time, and there were no classes scheduled. There were no students in those classes, and I canceled them, and then that greatly affected my bookings. I haven't had a single class this week. We're on Monday. I didn't have a class. Sunday I didn't have classes. Monday I didn't have classes. Tuesday I had closed my slots because I taught. So now I'm not going to have classes probably for the rest of the week. I messaged them this morning. I asked for classes. They gave me none. And I have to sit here because they can book you up to an hour before your scheduled time. So I have to constantly be checking. It's not like I can go out and do something else or guarantee work for another company. I have to be available in case they book that, which I don't think they're going to book it because it's slow and I had to cancel, and so they're not going to give me anything. And like I said, there weren't even any students in the class. So that is a little bit deceiving on the recruiter's end. Also, they tell you there's this $50 attendance, not attendance bonus, but if you teach 50 classes, then you get $1 per class. That is only for the 25-minute classes. Only for the 25-minute kid classes. So if your aim is to teach adults and you only teach a few kids classes, then you can kiss that bonus goodbye. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it because if you don't have enough hours, if they're not booking you, if you're only opening 5 peak hours to meet their minimum, you're not going to make that $50 class bonus. So that's also deceiving on their end. Other than that, let's talk about the actual pay and the point system. So for those 25-minute classes, you get $8.50. Doesn't matter how many kids are in them. They're usually 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, and I think there's a 3 or 4-on-1. I've only done 1s and 2s. So that's $8.50. Doesn't matter if they rate you. Doesn't matter if they don't rate you. Doesn't matter if they show up or don't show up. It's $8.50, period. Then there's the adult classes, and this is what interested me, and this is what actually brought me to iTutor, because the adult classes are 45 minutes. You can have up to 6 adults in the class. You get paid a base rate of $7.50 for the class. If each adult rates you, and you get a good rating is a 9 or a 10. The 9 will give you a 3 to a 3.75. I haven't figured out how that works. How you get $3 rather than $3.75. But then, so for each student, if each student rates you, multiply that by 6, you're doing good. You're getting some good pay. Now, the most I have made is $18.75 because they don't show up, they don't rate you, and that's it. That's it. So my average for the amount of hours that they have given me and for the ratings that I have gotten that have given me bonuses and everything else, my average salary at iTutor is about $12 an hour right now. And it's going down fast as I don't get any bookings, right? Because I'm sitting here for free waiting for a booking. So there's the pros and cons of iTutor. Now, if the students are a no-show, you have to stay there for the entire class. You have to stay there for the entire 45 minutes. It's actually 50 minutes because they recommend that everyone says you don't have to be there until 3 minutes before your class. But what happens is a lot of people end up getting switched out and have absences if there's like certain glitches and things like that. So people have recommended that you get there 10 minutes early. And you do that by, during teaching in one class, you open your other class and you have your camera and your microphone off in that class until you finish, and then you can hop over there and turn it on at the last moment. So it's really 55 minutes. They also, when I started working, they required a big background. So your entire background has to be something like that, right? So I ordered that. It cost me a little less than $100. Now it's not required anymore. So happy to hear that, right? Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing. I was moving it back behind me, and it was like right here so that I could hide this background in order to teach for iTutor. For Qkids, I would just turn it until Freddie wasn't in there, and you can't see this in Qkids, so that worked out okay. But so I'm a little bit glad that I don't have to deal with that thing, but I'm mad that I spent the money on it. I've made enough money to cover that, so I've made a little less than $200 since the 15 days of this month. I opened all of the slots that Qkids said that they were going to be closed, but I'm not really hopeful for getting bookings for those because of the slow time and because they're punishing me for canceling classes that had no students in them. So iTutor, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm going to see what another couple weeks brings me, but we'll see. We'll see. Right? Some people love it. Some people say they're doing great, and people also say on the Facebook groups and stuff, they say that all the complaints that you hear are people that are unhappy, and the people who are happy don't say anything. And I see the exact opposite of that in the Qkids group. I see the teachers all the time talking about how much they love Qkids, and I shout it from the housetops all the time. I tell everybody I know about Qkids. I tell them how much I love the job. I say it on Qkids all the time. I say it I tell my coach all the time how much I love it. So I just don't know how much truth is in that statement. Maybe so, but I don't know. Now, let's talk about Butterfly real quick. Butterfly is legit. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not, but it's like almost like a YouTube for English teachers, I think. But they're very strict about what they allow and what they don't allow. So they give you a criteria that you have to produce a video for, and then you can do up to 5 videos a day. They've had to limit it because so many people signed up and they were just inundated with videos. So they had to limit it, and they're doing 5 videos a day. They have about a 2-day, I think they're up to 2 days for reviewing videos and approving them or disproving them, or denying. So if your video gets approved, you get $10 for the video. So if you can pass in 5 videos and get 5 videos a day approved, you can make $50 a day. Now, I'm a little hesitant to get started on this because I think it's going to have a really steep learning curve, because my videos aren't great. I just sit here and talk, and I can blur people out and add some text. And I think I was like adding some arrows at some point in one of my videos, but that's kind of the extent of what I have. I'm sure there's an app out there, and I need to research it and things like that. And so I'm trying to decide between this and another thing that I'm going to mention in a minute. So if you're really good with video production and you can create those little snappy, nice, engaging videos, you could probably do butterfly and do okay with butterfly. And I would do so like now, because it's really exploding, and they're going to end up closing it off because they're going to have so much content that they're probably not going to know what to do with it. And they have some really great ideas for the future where they're going to create teacher profiles, and those teachers can get followers, and those followers, I believe, will be able to book classes with the teacher. So it might be something good for promoting yourself or something. So I'm thinking about starting to try to do some of those videos, but I'm really intimidated because I've watched some of the videos and they're pretty good, and I don't know how to do any of the stuff like make those things pop and put stickers and all of that. You get an extra 50 cents if you add closed caption to your subtitles to your video. So that's another thing to consider. That's another couple dollars a day. But it does seem like it's a lot of work. They're really concerned with copyright, so they're not even letting you read stories, which I don't even think is good anyway. I don't think reading a book is really that great for ESL. Yes, reading is good for ESL, but there's so much more that we can do. We can teach pronunciation tips, like the T sounds like a D in the middle of the word, and we can teach that the T is silent in the S and all of that stuff. There's a lot that you can do on a 2 to 3 minute video, and I think it's like 2 to 5 minutes is the video limit. And there's 2 types of videos that they accept. One of them is the curriculum video, so they give you specific points of curriculum and you teach that. And then the other one is about field trip videos, is what they call it. So you can take them out and do something creative with them, cooking or arts and crafts, or take them to the gym, take them to the grocery store, do just any kind of out of the classroom type of video. So there's really some great ideas. So that's an option for somebody who's snazzy with videos. Now, my last point, and I don't even know how long this has gone, but my last point is being independent. Now, I'm really, really considering this idea because I know that Cambly is charging their students, like I said before, close to $20 an hour. If not, I think it's somewhere around there, and they require a year's contract. So, and this is the same thing that I'm hearing for things like Qkids. That's like a month's worth of pay for a parent to do Qkids, and we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that, okay? So PalFish was the closest to seeing something like that, because with the free talk, see, the official kids course is the same thing. They're being charged a lot for that, and then they pay the teachers out of that pay. The free talk is you set your rates, and then PalFish takes 20% of that, which is one of the highest percentages that companies take out. And the thing about PalFish is that it's so competitive that I had to drop my rate down to by the time PalFish took their cut of it, I was getting like $15 or $16 an hour, which isn't bad, but I wasn't getting enough calls. So it really wasn't making me any more money than Cambly was, and Cambly was more consistent, so I was making more money on there. So I'm sitting here going, if I can just charge $20 an hour and get students, like, why not? Why not? My husband preaches online. He's a Bible preacher in Spanish. He has over 4,000 subscribers on his channel, and I have like a free market right there because they also know who I am, and my husband already told me, I'll promote your videos. So start teaching online, start teaching on YouTube, and let me promote your videos. And then I also have a following from Ecuador, from when I was teaching in Ecuador. A lot of my students are friends with me on my Facebook page. So if I start posting on there, they're gonna see those. They're gonna share them. They're gonna book classes. And I just, this is more and more what I think I'm going to do. Create a website, find a calendar app that I can have students book things with me, and redo my Facebook page and have a section on my YouTube page for basic, intermediate, and advanced students to have. I was doing those lives for PalFish, so why not do them for YouTube Live, and do 3 classes a week, one for each level, and market myself like that. Why not, right? Why not? So, this is where I'm at in my ESL journey. I was trying not to make this be too long. I hope that it helps somebody. I don't know if anybody's ever going to watch it, but thanks a lot for tuning in, and I hope to be able to do some more videos. I've got some issues with computers and stuff right now, and that's why there hasn't time, and the issues with the computer has slowed down my video production, but I'm going to try to get back into it. Daylight savings time is killing me. Being up at 4 in the morning, and sometimes at 3:15, because I teach a PalFish student that sometimes books like about once a week through at 3:15. It's just killing me. So I teach in the morning, and then when I'm done teaching on Cambly at like 12:15, sometimes I go to the gym, and I come back from the gym. I don't even take a shower. I'm out cold until my kids get home from school for like an hour to 2 hours a day. So that's taking up a lot of time sleeping and not being productive. And then after that, it's cooking dinner and homework and sports and whatever else is going on. So, and sometimes classes. So I haven't had a whole lot of time for videos, and my computer situation hasn't been conducive to making that easier. So I'm hoping that this next month I will find my niche. I will find the extra 2 hours a day I'm looking for, and be able to, that's not Cambly, because Cambly doesn't pay enough. I'm looking for somewhere around $16 to $18 to $20 an hour for 2 hours Monday through Friday. That's all I want. That's all I want is 2 hours Monday through Friday, maybe 3. Just to bring that income up a little bit more. So anyways, I will keep you updated as to my progress. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. I'm going to start doing some live teaching of beginner, advanced, and intermediate English, TOEFL, speaking, IELTS, things like this. I'm also toying with the idea of doing some teacher mentoring classes. So if you'd like that, you can leave a comment and let me know if you're interested in that, outside of just Qkids. All right, let me get off of here. I'll talk all night long. It is so hot in here. I need to get a breath of fresh air. Thanks for watching. Take care. Teacher D signing out.